Good evening, Speed Gaming. Welcome to some more Link to the Past Randomizer League playoff style. Today we have azder versus WillardJBradley, Shock Tools Digging Game versus WJPDTB. This is not a player's courage. This is actually a power player's with some really interesting settings. My name is Tracy, and with me today is Brewers fan JP. How are you doing, JP?
Doing all right. This is going to be a good one. And as you said, interesting settings. These players wanted something nice. I believe azder picked Vanilla Swords.
That's right.
Ganon, and then azder picked Noki Sanity. And then what did Sahaba give them?
We have Inverted, and we have Full-on Randomizer.
Yep. So they get some fun today as they start in different spots. And that's a Fire Rod right away for azder.
That's a nice find.
That could mean back of Skullwoods early, but they'll need some magic. They'll need some magic for it. So we get a map check. All three pendants in the dark.
That's interesting. Some interesting things that come out about the Inverted with the Vanilla Swords is particularly interesting because what it means is they're likely not getting a sword until they get to the light world. It is possible, I didn't quite see where those red crystals were, it's possible that you could have 2 red crystals in the dark world and get the Pyramid Fairy before you go into the light world. But most likely they're going to get that Uncle Sword, but not until they actually get their light world access.
Yeah, we did see the map. There was only 1 red crystal in the dark world, so it is guaranteed no swords until they get light world. As Willard walks right into a roller.
Yeah, that would be Randomizer for you.
azder gets the exact same, though.
Yeah, but azder got his bomb first, and really that's what they're doing, is they're going to farm these bombs and just keep dying. There's more than 1 bomb in there, and yeah, you're just going to see a whole lot of roller deaths after picking up bombs here for a bit. Because Inverted, you need to find a way to get bombs early. Also, it's nice if you can find a way to get money early. You'll see runners do the arrow game, but of course you need money to play the arrow game in the first place.
Yeah. I think they both have decided to just grab the 1 bomb in the bottom right and then take the death.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. Rollers and yellow spiky things are just nasty.
Willard tried to walk around the bottom, but can't quite. azder tried to do the same, though.
Yeah, at the point where they feel like they have enough bombs, they're going to want to get out of there. Otherwise, they'll have to save and quit. That's not what they want.
All right, so Willard's going to the back. There is a chance of getting locked back here because you need a small key to get out.
Yeah, there's 3 small keys in Skullwoods, so the chances are pretty low, but they're not 0. Now, it used to be that there was always a small key in the pinball room, and that has been changed in version 31.
Actually, I think Willard's safe since he did check the first chest in the front, and the Mothula spot cannot have a small key. There's one there.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of locked doors in Skullwoods that we just don't care about because they don't lead to anything.
One of the nice things about Randomizer you see on Willard's screen, killable thieves.
Yeah. Yeah, as you're doing the middle section, this is rough in any situation, but it's going to be especially rough here.
Yeah, these enemies just track you down and bump you out of the way. That's not very friendly.
Yeah, Willard's not even going to go for that.
That actually might be a little too far up for him.
Yeah, it might be. I do like Willard's play. Just go do Hype Cave.
Well, we've got a Hype Cave. We've got 50 rupees.
Well, that'll get you the arrow game.
More rupees. Flippers. Moon Pearl.
Really, Moon Pearl.
And Cane of Samaria.
That would have helped in this room for azder.
So with that Fire Rod in Link's house, how about some early Ice Palace?
Yeah, that could be a thing. Especially we've got flippers now. azder wanted to get that magic refill. I'm gonna just take a Death Warp. He wants to check and see what's in the back of Skullwoods. Of course, we can't actually beat the dungeon without a sword, but we can at least get to that chest. And the 70 rupees, a little bit of a nasty number because it takes 80 to do the dig game.
Oh, but that's not nasty. That's some blue mail.
Oh, blue mail early in any kind of Randomizer is always a nice safety.
I think that was an unintentional grab by on Aster's side there.
Yeah, I think he wants to check the chest in the under the bridge here, I think.
This will be an advantage to him if there is something in this chest.
Okay, Willard doing his arrow game. So far, so good.
It's a pretty easy game when you know exactly when to fire. Though I've also seen Andy do this, and he knows how to do it.
Well, Andy's just on a whole nother plane on this game. on this, I mean, the arrow game in particular.
Playing a couple times. It's also just getting some rupees because another possibility now is pod. With the flippers, we do have access to that.
Okay, he's going to head over, do that dig game. In this situation, he might do extra digs if the dig game is quick to get some extra big 20s, just so he has plenty of money.
Well, there's a cape. That's a very nice safety in Randomizer. Not
Absolutely.
as necessary because of it. So there's obviously Bumper Cave, and it'll help you with some enemies, but you don't need that for AGA access, for example.
Right.
Which actually, we won't have to worry about AGA. This will not be an AGA seed for Light World access, which is a bonus of Vanilla Swords in this case.
Because how are you going to get in there? you got to have a sword to get through all the way through AGA. So,
Yeah. Not saying it won't be required, but much less likely we'll ever even have to touch.
Yeah,
that.
it would have to be a lumberjack item.
So we did lose Aster for a minute there, so we don't know if we found anything in the back. We'll have to see if he does an inventory check at some point.
Well, Azure not using quick swap, one of the few people that just completely doesn't use it, so we'll see his menu a few times.
He might have got the big key because looked like he was trying to get to the big chest.
Ooh, this is not a nice room for a bomb jump to get in there. Yeah, I don't blame him for not wanting to do that bomb jump into that pokey.
But that's not exactly a lot
I know,
better
right?
in that room.
Yeah, maybe he forgot just how bad the rollers were here.
He might also just be farming up a few more bombs. He was down to one bomb.
And yeah, speaking of bombs, we see some in the C-shaped house. We're still early enough that finding bombs is still pretty useful. Okay, he's done with Skullwoods for now. Probably gonna take that bomb and head over to Hype Cave and get the stuff that Willard just got. A lot of this will even out. Willard will probably do more of the Skullwood stuff. But right now, I'd say a little bit of an advantage to Willard, but way too early to make any kind of real calls to that extent.
Yeah, definitely. Though I will say this, watching these, at least Willard in practice, this mode tends to be a little faster, even with the Randomizer in play. So we could be seeing like an hour 10 seed here, depending on how it all plays out.
No, and these two are both capable of that kind of play, so certainly could happen.
So Asher got all the goodies out of the Hype Cave, going to make the exact same claim as Willard and do the south checks.
Also with exactly 70 rupees. That's so rude.
It is a little rude.
So the interesting part about this being Randomizer is one of the things that really is rough in a inverted seed like this is a lot of times the game is going to want you to do a hammer blind early, and sometimes it hard requires it. Now, we're probably going to, it may very well be that the game is going to want them to do a whatever for whatever boss that we're going to see in Thieves Town. But it doesn't necessarily have to be blind. It could be, I'm pretty certain anybody can show up. It's Azra's turn to play the arrow game. Okay, I love that Garfield turns into Odie in the bunny sprite.
It is nice. So, honestly, actually, Willie doesn't have a lot of ammo. If you could try to check the boss, the only boss he actually might be able to kill is Blind, because he can kill Blind with the game.
Yeah? He could do Moth. Because we discovered during the Randomizer week that Kane works for that too. But I like the choice to just go to the back and see what's there. Thieves Town, the back of Thieves Town is just, it's like another left side swamp in Randomizer, because you just don't have to go there. Because you don't have to light up the room, you don't have to grab the maiden, and so you might never go there. And in this case, there's still 3 items back there and only 1 item on the boss, and it might be a boss you can't kill anyway, so... I suspect that both runners will do this play that Willard's doing right now. I also azder looks like he's going to do something different.
This is This is likely either Ice Palace or Pod. Yeah.
This could be Ice. Willard, I do expect he'll at least check out what the boss is after he clears the rest of this. He's going to have to be careful down to 1 heart here.
I was hoping that piece of heart would fill it, but
yeah,
not quite.
Not quite. So yeah, you notice he doesn't blow up the floor there. Doesn't need to.
That was a death. I kind of missed if that was intentional or not. I don't think it was.
I don't think so. It's not the worst thing, because he wants to go to the basement anyway. But we'll see if he's gonna go back in.
Yeah, he got the attic chest.
Exactly.
The most important part is azder is trying to avoid this murder-dactyl.
Although to be fair, murder-dactyls are here normally anyway. He has nothing to kill it with. Does fire rod work on those guys?
I think so, but it's good luck getting the shot off.
That's true. Yeah, he's doing a very nice job at dodging him. At least he's got blue mail, so he can take 1 hit.
He's gonna try. There he goes.
There it is. Oof. Oh no, he loses Kiki.
Yeah, down to a heart, he's got to be careful.
And there's another one. Okay, he's got that fire rod ready. He just needs to get there. Meanwhile, we're about to see Willard get into the basement here. This is why I don't like playing Randomizer. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, azder's gonna make it into Pod, and now if he dies, it'll be a death warp. And of course, no glove means that Willard has to do this the long way.
Oh, there's a bomb there.
Oh, that is an unfortunate location for that Igor.
So unfortunately, no hammer means Willard can't get the big chest. And we got a lot of Hinoxes in here, which thankfully will die in 1 bomb hit. At least 1 of your bomb hits, not 1 of their own.
Yeah, that'd be nice if they died in their own bomb hits. Okay, we're going to see this last chest. It is 10 arrows. So nothing in Thieves Town unless there's something in the big chest or something on the boss itself.
Yeah. So Willard could come back in here just to scout the boss to see what he needs. And I think he's going to do that. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't blame him for not doing that. It's kind of I mean, it's a useful bit of information, but without the boots especially, it's a bit of a walk. And even with the boots, since we don't have a sword yet, we won't have a sword for a while. It would still be pretty bad.
Ooh, nice full magic refill for Willard. This has probably got to be a back of Skullwood's check. I don't think he checked the mid chest either, so...
Yeah, I think he just did the front. And of course, in terms of logic, the game still expects you to have a bow for this section, which, there's been a lot of debate about that sort of thing, but honestly, it almost doesn't matter, because with progressive bows, there still could be a bow back here. I'm sure you've seen as much as I have the bow lock bows with the progressive bows.
Yep. I think, actually, one of the more recent versions of Randomizer did eliminate that. But I heard that was coming in the next update that hadn't been done yet. No. Okay.
And I believe somebody, I think it was Zelgadison, had said that he had tested it with the customizer. Can you put 2 bows back here, and couldn't do it. So.
Okay.
I expect that it sounds like it's going to be taken care of, though. But like I said, I mean, it almost doesn't matter because progressive bows are a thing. Okay, maybe on Willard's side, we'll get to see what was in this chest here. As you're getting the usual lots of keys in the front of Pod, because Pod has lots of keys, and 4 of them have to be in the front.
So right now, we're looking for something in Pod. I think the only other place we got is... We got the pyramid item, and then we also got Ice Palace. Okay, it was just a small key. We have not seen the big key yet. So Willard's basically his choices now are either... Oh, never mind. I was going to say he could either do Ice Palace or Pod, but he's got something else on his... Oh! No, I was going to say bumper. Oh, there's a hammer.
Nice. Still need a glove, though. And just to point out, those are Dark World rats, and Dark World rats do 2 hearts of damage. They're essentially the crickets from Thieves Town. Unfortunately, as you're taking a death back there, let's see if he save and continue, save and quit. What are you gonna do? You gotta make a decision.
Meanwhile, Willard, I think he was having an idea to go check the catfish or get the Pod the other way, and unfortunately forgot that you need a glove.
Glove. Yeah, that's a thing. I'm figuring it looks like Azder with that figures that hammer is what he's getting out of Pod, and maybe is not going to do the rest of it until later.
Well, the hammer's a nice pickup because now he can full clear Ice Palace.
He can, and Azder is capable of doing the hammer cold stare. Plus, he'll have some. He could. No, if he does it this way with no half magic, you'd need all those fire rod shots for the beginning, and we don't have any potions yet. So, unless we get some nice items here.
And unfortunately for Willard, he's going in without the hammer, so this is going to be a double dip for him.
And of course, probably won't be cold stare anyway, so... Yeah, no hammer for Willard. This will be a double dip. But he might have an easier Ice Palace later. Nice thing is that they have the Cane of Samaria. For Azder, that means he'll be able to do Icebreaker. For Willard, he can do the Icebreaker, but he might get soft locked if there's no small key in one of these first 3 chests. Oh gosh, this looks like an interesting room.
Yeah, with only magic items to damage, Willard might not have enough to do this room.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough. I mean, the hammer is not exactly a great item for this, but at least it's not. You're not gonna run out of it.
He's got to be careful because
yeah.
He needs a little magic for the back. There's the first item of Ice Palace.
Just rupees. Okay. Willard taking a death in the next room. Yeah, I have a feeling we're going to see... Yeah, and Azder just says, you know what, I'm just going to start over. I don't blame him. Like, this early setup is just going to be full of death. There's just no ways... I mean, I don't care how good you are. These rooms are really tough. The Randomizer plus the weapons that we have available to us right now.
Yeah. So Willard's looks like he's headed towards Pod. Oh, he's gonna check the pyramid first.
No, I don't think we didn't see the pyramid on Azder's side, so this could be something good. Willard will be happy he went to Pod once he sees that hammer.
Yeah, and if he decides to continue through Pod, he might find something that Azder left behind, which would be bad for Azder if that happens. So, oh, that room. Okay, I see that room now. That is just a main room.
Yeah, that's going to be a really tough one for the runners.
And Azder
he did a
reset. So
reset. Oh my god, that could be required though. Like that could legit be hard required in this. Oh my god.
It could.
Yeah, this is where Randomizer just gets a little silly.
Silly's one way. Okay, so I think he's taking another shot at Ice Palace, but he wanted full magic.
Yeah, that's a good idea, because having the fire rod for that room will help him out.
Willard doesn't even put up with that murder dactyl. He's just like, you're dead.
I mean, at some point, once these guys have a decent item loadout, then the Randomizer won't matter nearly as much.
Yeah, the biggest, I think, not being able to get a sword is the biggest thing here, honestly. It's just, having a sword makes a lot of this so much easier.
Okay.
It's like they have to play swordless for the first half of this game.
Yeah. So he reset everything there. So fortunately, just the 20 rupees sitting in that room, so he doesn't care about those. You only need to kill the enemies in that lower cross room if you want the chest.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's see this one. Looks like there was a bird that flew right at him. Yep. A bird is the big thing, and because it's Dark World, it's basically the same as a murder dactyl.
Yep.
He does have the cape if he needs it, but he doesn't want to waste too much magic.
Yeah, he wants to be able to use that Canis Samaria. Canis Samaria doesn't use a whole lot of magic, but it's not like it's zero.
Some quick questions on chat. I think they're asking about Fast Ganon. Just Fast Ganon just means they do not have to be Ganon's tower to access Ganon. The hole is pre-opened for them. They
Yeah,
still need... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
They still need 7 crystals to finish Ganon's tower. Or not finish, to beat Ganon, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, we are guaranteed not to see anything in Ganon's tower, because the only thing that could be progressive in Ganon's tower generally is a sword. But we're vanilla swords, so we know where all the swords are.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to see Ganon's tower in any way.
Which I don't think either one of them is going to be upset about.
And I don't think Ashter grabbed... Did he not grab the key?
He must have not grabbed the key. Okay, he's giving up on Ice
glove.
Palace.
They don't have a glove. They can't go that way.
Right. Oh, I didn't even think about that. So he's going to change up strategies.
See,
You know, that's just something that doesn't come up in a regular game, right? It's the hammer you're worried about, not the glove, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we didn't even think about that. Ice Palace can't be completed yet until they get a glove. Oh, and Willard doesn't have another bomb.
My God. Yeah, this is just a comedy of I won't even say errors, because they're not errors. It's just, this is just, this mode with these settings just they just wreak havoc.
We're just gonna farm some bombs. The good news about Palace of Darkness is there are some bomb farm spots easily in the front here.
There's a lot of bomb pots in Pod, so and I'm sure he knows where they all are.
So we got Ashter now checking the VOO. He's probably going to go into Thieves Town after this, which we have seen on Willard's side, except for the boss.
Right. And the big chest.
Yeah. But Ashter does have the ability to potentially clear Thieves Town if that boss is beatable.
Yep.
But it is also Green Pendant, so...
Yeah, of course it's Green Pendant.
Yeah, Willard still, he really needs a better weapon. If he gets to the back, he'll get his hammer. So we know where our pearl is, we know where our hammer is, we just need a glove for Dark World, or for Light World access.
Yep.
Right now it could be sitting in Ice Palace still, or it could still be in Pod.
Could be in the Thieves Town big chest, it could be on the Thieves Town boss. But we are running out of places where it could be.
I mean, it's not even necessarily a glove. We could... Actually, I don't know if we could find Flute. I know Flute only works in Dark World, but I don't recall if they've made the change yet where you can activate Flute.
Yeah, I heard they were going to change that as well. I don't think they have yet. I think that's a more difficult thing, since the place where you activate the flute is Thieves Town in the Dark World.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think actually, thinking about that, our next piece of progression is going to be a glove.
Yeah, glove or something that leads to the glove, but there's not a whole lot at this point. Like, most of the fetch quests are light world fetch quests. So Willard gets his hammer.
Smart move, go down first, because he doesn't have any way to light torches in the basement.
Yeah, Randomizer in dark rooms, yeah, not the easiest thing in the world. Now, you do have that fire rod. Fire rod does put the rupee basement in logic. Don't know if he'll decide to do the dark maze.
Dark maze would be really tough at this point. He's gonna try this.
Yeah. 1 heart. I mean, at this point, he may as well at least try this one. He has no magic, though. But if he dies, it's just a death warp.
There's the glove. That's light world access.
That's rough.
So it doesn't mean that Astra's not going to find anything in Thieves Town, though.
No, because there's another glove out there.
That would be mean, though, if the other glove's in Thieves Town. I will say that much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect that to happen, but it certainly could. There's other things he could find as well. He just leaves that key. He'll get on his way out.
He'll come back around.
He doesn't need it right now.
Willard's got to be careful here. He gets 1 chance of this bomb jump. Never mind. He's not taking it.
Did they get the big key?
Of course.
No, in pod. Okay.
Yeah, they did. Big key was on the right side. But Willard's gonna go to the light world, which I don't blame him.
Yeah,
At
no
this point,
kidding.
Go get your sword from Uncle.
No kidding. Just go get your sword. As you're also not getting a 4th piece of heart.
Okay, so we saw our light world map check. Our other red crystal is at desert, which means we will need the book in this seed, which I guess we kind of already knew. But
yeah,
that's another thing of inverted is that if you need to do desert, you have to find
hard
the book.
Required. Okay, now you got to pick up that key.
Astra needs.
And those floating skulls are really nasty. They do a ton of damage, and they don't move, and they follow you.
And Willard mercifully picks up his sword. And he's up to 5 hearts as well.
Yeah, that'll make things a lot easier for him. Hopefully, as you're forgetting, oh wait, I don't have a glove here too, so I can't pick up that rock. Another place where, in normal situation, actually, it is possible to come here without a glove if it's an Aga seed, in a regular seed, but it just doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, I think the other mode is entrance rando. Because obviously you can come in here and entrance rando as well, but yeah, it's rare.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Azure do the big chest first in this one.
He's probably thinking about doing the boss. He's got all the items, so the big chest has something, and the boss has something.
Okay, he's got lots of bombs here, so that's good.
If he finds anything interesting on the boss or in the big chest, that's a big advantage to him because I don't know when Willard would come back.
But like you said, Pendant Dungeon, it might not have anything. And of course, could be Green Pendant as well, although the Green Pendant is not going to be... Wouldn't have been the thing that progresses them into Light World, of course. But now that we know where there is a glove, it could be a glove.
Okay, Burna
okay.
It's nice, but with Cape, doesn't really do much.
Yeah, yeah, Cape is a little bit better for most things in inverted. Sorry, not inverted, in Randomizer. Although it does do damage to things, so there is that.
Yeah. We're gonna get a peek at our first boss. And Mothula, this is killable easily.
This is definitely doable. Mothula, the weird boss that's actually a lot easier in Randomizer because usually you're not facing him with spikes and treadmills.
Oh, that is big.
That's a big one. Swamp Palace. You do still need the mirror for Swamp Palace, even in inverted. And yeah, like you say, it might be a while before Willard goes back there. Doesn't give Azure Light World access yet because you got to use it in the Light World. Since it's inverted, it's backwards. So he's going to have to choose now between going back into pod or going back into ice. Hopefully he chooses pod. It seems like the pod was a little less bad.
Yeah. There's the book that's absolutely needed.
Yep.
I will say, at least for Willard's side, going back there isn't such a big thing because with the green pendant, it's 2 items. So he might be a little more inclined to go back there as Aster's taking another shot at ice.
Yeah, this surprises me. I mean, he can't finish this one. Not that you can finish pod either. Because you do hard require the bow to get to the back, even in Randomizer. Because you do need to shoot that statue. And I do think ice was worse. I mean, I was just well versed in low percent play, but low percent doesn't do Randomizer, so.
Yeah.
But of course, we also know that the glove is sitting there in pod, so you know there's a certain amount of bias towards go to pod.
I do think with the key layout in pod, the back was in logic, so there is that.
Yeah, it was like Willard, 1 key on the right side, right?
Yeah, it's just 1 on the right. One small key plus the big key.
So only the big chest and going to the back. But of course, we don't have a bow. You literally can't go to the back. Oh, wow. Look at this room. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you kind of want to do...
Oh, my God. This is so
You really
bad.
want to do Icebreaker in this situation.
Because you need a glove to get the small key. Yeah, maybe this will convince Azure that maybe pod is a better play. That chain chomp. Oh my God. You're not.
There's
not
another
doing
reason.
That. You're not. You're just not. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because you think about it. Even if you did completely vanilla ice, you know, not vanilla, casual, like the casual way that the game expects you to play. Without bomb jumps, you still would have to go through that hole. Like there's no avoiding it. Oh, Azure, no.
He might be going to... Oh, actually, no, you're right. He is going back. He's got the hammer now. He doesn't have to go this route. This is another ice attempt.
I don't understand this at all. Like... he's just going to continue. You know, he's got that mirror in his back pocket. He's got to hope that Willard doesn't go for it for a while because he's losing a ton of time by going so hard on this ice play. Meanwhile, Zor with just a piece of heart for Willard. Randomizer, yeah, you're going to grab that. You went through the trouble of getting it.
And the other thing is, Willard's making extra checks now. It's like, as he's getting more items here, as he gets going to pick up the lamp as well, which is absolutely, you want that in Randomizer.
Yeah, you really do.
But yeah, the more Willard checks, the more he's going to get ahead of Ashter. Even with that mirror advantage Ashter has. Like, if that ends up being Willard's go mode, that could end up being good for Willard, too.
What mirror checks are there besides... I mean, Swamp, of course. That's, one of the... Mirrors is not quite as powerful, I'd say, in Randomizer, although it does some nice things for getting into Turtle Rock. And, of course, still required for Swamp Palace.
Yeah, mirror can be required for Turtle Rock. Willard did find that out in a practice seed I watched him do. Mirror also... Oh.
Yeah, this is not working. Give it up. Go to pod. It's your other choice. Please, go to pod.
The other thing I was going to say, mirror does also get you another sword, because you can use the mirror to get the smith. Alright, is he going to give it another chance, or is he going to go to pod?
Texted to me.
Go up. Oh my God. at some point, you just got to give up. Oh, this is painful. Okay, Willard gonna get something on the race game, check the race game, and probably do a bunch of Kakariko checks. Not gonna get those 20 rupees, not worth it. And let's see if the library is gonna have anything for us. 20 rupees, we're not coming back for that.
We're gonna get a magic bat check since Willard's out of magic.
Perfect timing.
Actually, is that is really good timing. I mean, looking at through our dungeons quick on Willard's side, he can do desert if it's not
Boots locked, yep.
boots locked. Does not actually. No, he doesn't have access to Hera yet. I think you need either the hookshot or the mitts for Hera access here. Other dungeons obviously can't do swamp. He could try ice, but looking at Asher's side, ice is not a friendly choice right now.
Oh my god.
Meyer, he would need either the mirror or the flute to get access to. Was that an intentional bomb on that chest by Willard?
Maybe.
And then Turtle Rock. Turtle Rock, you might be able to. He doesn't have a medallion, so there's no access to Turtle Rock.
Yeah, not without mirror. Okay, Azure, go to pod, please. I'm begging you. Oh. I don't know what he thinks is going to change here.
I don't know. He must be just. Oh, there's the boots.
Yeah, and that's another one that's just going to get him even further behind.
I think he got so much for ice early. He's just got to be playing that the ice has to be the answer. But
at some point, when you're still 3 hearts. That ice room, you can't do the icebreaker because you don't have a glove, and there's no small key available. You can't do, and that room to get down to the bomb jump area is just, really bad. And you don't know what's going to come up in the next room. Like, it could be worse.
Yeah. Meanwhile, over on Willard's side, he found the bow, so he now has the access to clear Eastern, and if he wants to go back and finish pod, he can, but that's pendant. If he wants to, he also has the ability to check the ped if he wants to while he's here, which
we know
it is in logic.
But we know it's a ped.
Oh, you're right. I'm an idiot.
And the only way we're going to pull ped is if we need stuff at all the pendant dungeons. Okay, this has got to be it. You have to give up on this.
There's Powder.
Yeah, Powder's nice. Oh my god, he's going back. At this rate, Willard's going to finish the seed. Azure's still going to be trying to get through ice.
I think Willard's had Light World access for about over 10 minutes now.
Yeah, something like that. That's rough because pod, it's pendant pod, and he got in there, he got his hammer, figured the hammer was the progression for pod. Totally understand that. If this were a regular seed in the terms of non-enemizer, I think this is fine. But you're also not going to die, 20 times trying to do this in a regular seed because, it's not enemizer. You don't have a chain chomp in those bad places.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Willard knows about the red rubies on the trees. He's been filling up that way.
No wonder he has so much money. Because he's paid off Zora, so.
Well, he's also found a few 300 packs too. But Enemizer, you want money because you want potions.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which he did get a blue potion in the drop down. So.
Also, when you start in the Dark World in the the dark sanctuary location, you can get a free refill there. Well, it's not free. You can get a refill there for like 20 rupees, I think it costs, because the amount the hint would normally cost in that location.
Oh,
Meanwhile-
you know,
Meanwhile, Willard checked the lumberjack, just 10 arrows, so no agate today.
Darn. We'll let Aga live today. Okay, bonk rocks. Bombs. Ick.
oh my god.
Oh, Extra's going back again.
Going back again. Okay. Willard. We're gonna see what's at Sanctuary.
Little surprised here. You can do the back of escape and then come through the sanctuary to keep moving. So
I don't know which is faster. I guess you save and quit out of Sanctuary. If this is the end of your route, then it makes sense to do this in this order. Yeah, you do the Graveyard Ledge because, of course, because of the way the mirror works, some of these locations had to be changed so that you can access them. So Graveyard Ledge, Bombo's Tablet, K45. Okay, let's see what's in the back of Escape. Rupees, the small key, and a shield. So he might just go ahead and do Dark Cross from here since he has the lamp and the key. Oh boy.
yeah, we'll likely see a save and quit as soon as he's done in here.
Yeah.
I think, did he check? Yeah, he checked the front, so I think he's seen the map. So this has got to be an item.
Yeah, as chat's pointing, I do like what Azur's doing in terms of the peg. You know, letting it get the iframes as long as he can.
Well, he got the hole open, but he needs to flip the switch again.
Yep.
Oh,
Then,
almost.
Ah.
I was impatient.
I just don't think this is going to work with it. Well, it's only 3 hearts. I just don't think it's doable. I don't care how good you are. Okay, Willard using the flippers and going over to... Looks like he's going to turn in that mushroom. Okay, go to... I give up. He's just going to keep going until he sees a dot done or he gets through it. It's just... Oh my god.
Oh, there's the hook shot for Willard. That opens up a lot of Death
Yeah, it
Mountain.
does. Yeah, it does. And buying a potion here makes a lot of sense. Having those extra potions in Randomizer are very nice to have.
I think Willard's play here is he's got that hook shot, but he's gonna go do. Never mind. I was gonna say he's gonna go do Eastern, or he might. Okay, yeah, he's taking this portal back. He's gonna do Eastern, I think. Or...
Yeah, Eastern is a good choice.
No. He's going to do Desert. He's got Desert that you can full clear as well.
Yeah, also a good choice.
Yeah.
He's got the boots, so Desert's gonna be full clearable for him.
We do have to continue. We have to keep in mind our bosses. The only boss that can kill those is Trinex.
Yeah, if it's Trinex, then you're out of luck. But other than that, yeah, you can finish it. And just couch cash on the Bombo's Tablet, so you're not going to come back for that.
All right, Asher is taking another attempt here. Unfortunately, this hole does not stay open once you've bombed it once.
Yeah.
I think the only hole that does that is actually the blind hole.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, that one for sure does, but yeah, I can't think of any others. And I think a lot of it is, some of those holes are traps.
That's true, yeah. If you left some of those holes open, it might I don't think it would make the game unplayable, but it would make it a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
All right, well, this was not a boots-locked desert.
No, it wasn't. Those 20 rupees are just going to stay sitting there. And ideally for Willard, this will be an item in the big chest, and he doesn't have to worry about going over to that right side. No, it has to be a small key.
Yeah, it had to be a small key there.
It has to be a small key. So it could be an item. I would just go... it's Enemizer. If this weren't Enemizer... Yeah, if it wasn't Enemizer, I'd just go to the back. But if it with Enemizer, yeah, you can still just go to the back and hope that it's a beatable enemy and the items there.
He had, Astra had the drop down, but got sniped in midair.
Yeah, that's probably part of the Japanese 1.0, where normally if you fall, you can't get hurt in the regular game, but in the original version, yeah, you see that a lot in Skull Woods, where you fall down the hole to Mothula, and the hand grabs you. But he is determined.
Yeah, I think his mindset at this point is that if there's something back here that's good, Willard had to do this as well. And if I can get it...
Yeah,
then...
and he figures if the answer is pod at this point, and Willard's done it, that I've just lost. And, that's kind of a... I hate that mindset. I mean, especially when something this bad.
Yeah, at this point, Willard's basically built a 20-minute lead.
Yep. The only thing Azure has over Willard is that mirror. And pretty much, if Willard has to full clear the game to get that mirror, and Azure somehow either comes to his senses and goes to pod, I hate to put it that way, or if he decides to, or if he just managed to do it, and we see, yeah, this is not a fun fight.
Yeah, he does have cape, which usually makes it easier, but unfortunately, with only fighter sword, have to use spins, which he's going to do some before using that blue potion.
Yeah, fortunately he does have that cape, but you can't use the property of the cape that if you're swinging the sword, you don't lose any magic because you can't. Swinging the sword is just not going to work. He's going to switch to arrows. I like this choice.
Yeah, very good choice here.
And it has plenty to finish him off, so this is going to work out well.
And that's not the second item, so we'll have to go back in. But there's our first crystal.
Yeah, 46 minutes in. Remember we were talking about 1 hour seeds, 1 hour, 10 minute seeds? Yeah, no.
Yeah. And actually, I'm looking at Willard's loadout right now. He could theoretically be in go mode when he finds Mirror.
Yeah, he could.
Because that'll give him...
Azure made it down!
Oh, he did? He made it!
He made it. Just please have some nice rooms for him here so he can... be done with this ice palace and move on.
All right. Now, this is also assuming... he actually doesn't need to bomb jump necessarily.
No, in fact, I don't think he should.
Yeah, I agree there. No bomb jump. Just do this normally.
I mean, there's the small chance that there could be that other glove there. And to his mind, it's two gloves that are possible. But it's not worth it. How very vanilla. Well, this isn't vanilla.
Yeah. Kind of going back to what I was thinking. Willard can clear Eastern and Hera at this point. Yep. He can come back and clear Ice. He just needs Mir to access Mire and Turtle Rock, basically.
Yeah.
Actually, Swamp, Mire, and Turtle Rock are all kind of Mir locked for him right now. He could get access to Mire with flutes and mitts. And actually, no, he doesn't need mitts. He just needs flute.
Yeah, and he could get access to Turtle Rock with a medallion.
But yeah, assuming there's no Trinex out there, which is actually a little less likely in this scenario since we don't have to do GT, Willard could be a mirror from Go mode.
Yeah, 2 locations in GT the Trinex can show up, so, even if there are 2 of them, I suppose it's possible that might be where Trinex is hanging out. Oh my god, these yellow spiky things are just awful. And they're everywhere in Enemizer. Like, they just don't show up very much in the regular game. I think they're pretty much limited to Ice Palace.
No, there's one in GT.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
At least one in GT. Oh, no. That was
didn't
unfortunate.
even get any of the items.
Okay.
He'd have to do it all over again. And a shovel sitting
Alright.
at the bumper ledge.
Holy shit. Holy fucking shit.
And now that he's done it once, you know, he's going to possibly be even more, feel more like going back to it. And there it is. He's going back in. Meanwhile, Willard's going to rescue the old man. It's not a terrible old man cave, because those mold worms and those anti-fairies just sitting there out the wall, no problem, just hanging out there. And of course, in inverted, this is a long, long walk. And you see Willard holding that block because even though, because the old man it makes you really, really slow. So the game prioritizes the speed with which you carry something, which is just a little bit faster.
So I did see also that shovel on bumper ledge, but we know that's not going to be anything important at this point, beyond maybe ice rod.
You know, could be important.
Actually, it could be a medallion too. I mean, there
Could
is
be
a
a medallion.
possibility. There is a possibility you need both the mirror and the medallion for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, depending on key layout. Turtle Rock is really goofy in Randomizer. I think it's probably the, you know, in terms of weirdness, it's definitely the strangest of the dungeons. I think it gets affected the most because you can get to Laser Bridge with the mirror, and that could be required to do it that way. Or you might have like 2 small keys on Laser Bridge, but have to get the big key from the front. So I guess if you get 2 small keys on Laser Bridge, you can work your way back up, but it's still pretty goofy. Turtle Rock also has the weird. Oh, he got back down again. Okay. Turtle Rock also has the weird feature that, and it's not just in Turtle Rock, but if you go up a spiral staircase and it's got a key, the key will not get used going up.
Willard does find the flute, so that gets him Meyer access. I did forget one thing. Willard is actually 2 items from Go mode. He does need a medallion.
Yeah, he'll need a medallion for Misery Mire for sure. That doesn't change.
Well, there's one medallion.
Was it the right one? We'll find out eventually.
Alright, so we got Willard. He's going to go to Hera. Interestingly, with Hera, you actually need the hammer's required to get to Hera now, because this is the only way to Hera. On the other hand, though, unfortunately, that also... Actually, sorry, not unfortunately. On the other hand, that also means that Turtle Rock is no longer hammer-locked. Azder gets downstairs. Is there anything down here? This is what we've been... Oh, does he have enough magic to do this? He doesn't. He has no magic. He can't get that chest.
Ah, it's terrible. And he gets a compass from the big chest. Should be able to get to iced tea.
Well, Willard does a quick Hera pot. That was so quick I couldn't even mention it.
Yeah. Yeah, some people are just getting really good at those Hera pots. That was one of the best ones I've seen. Definitely a very well done.
And Dead Rock blocked on the way to the chest, but not the end of the world there.
No, he saw it well soon enough. He was able to use that hook shot to take care of it, so that was good.
Oh, another yellow spike.
The good news for Azder is he got that key, so now if he goes back in, he can go back and go the other way. And there's some bombs.
Yeah, But he needs magic if he wants
Yep.
to. If he wants to get that other chest. Meanwhile, 7-eyed Moldorm.
Because Moldorms do that. It is a vanilla Moldorm, except for those 7 eyes, though.
Just a map. I don't know if we got. I don't think we got both items. So there is something in the basement here.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, when you go through Tower Hera, the last thing you want to see is that small key.
And Willard's going to be thorough and check the basement. Which I don't blame him. This is really tough to get back to.
Oh, Azder going to try and finish this dungeon.
He can't.
He
He doesn't have a glove.
I know that. I don't think he's quite thought this through, though. Which is unfortunate because that small key, he could have saved that small key. And like I said, used it for... Yeah, he could have used it for the icebreaker.
Willard tried to go for a coffee break, but nope, didn't get it set up just right. Oh, no, he's setting for a death warp. Never mind.
I might as well. These tiles will do 1 hard damage regardless, so yeah, just take a bunch of damage from them. Because he kind of did still do a coffee break. He just needs to be careful not to die to the Moldorms.
Oh, that's a good drop for Aster. He just got to full magic.
Yeah, he needed that. Now he just needs to make his way. Yeah, he's got to make his way back up, which is not trivial. Okay, there's the death warp from Willard. So yeah, to get back up, he's going to have to go...
He can't do this, though. He used that key. And there's a locked door on his way.
Yep, there is. Oh, boy. Yeah, there's no more keys he can pick up.
He's got to mirror out. He's got no choice.
Yeah, key's not going to magically appear. He's thinking about saving quitting. If he saves and quits, that means maybe he does something else. He got some items.
He just he save and quit, left the house, and reset again.
Okay.
So is he gonna go to pod? He's heading to ice again.
No, you're right. This is ice or bust.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, at this point, he's just given way too much. Like if he had given up, fairly quickly, he would have been fine. That mirror would have been enough of an advantage that he still would have been fine. But at this point, even if he can manage to get everything out of here, even if he gets something really good out of here as the last item, like, I don't know at this point, I guess an ice rod, whatever he gets out of here, Willard's going to get back here eventually and get whatever item that is. It's just not going to be enough.
Yeah, Willard has a half hour. He's been in the light world for half an hour now.
I mean, I usually don't like to call these things early, but I just don't see how Azder comes back from this one. And valiant effort, but at some point, sometimes you just need to know when enough's enough. All right, let's see where Willard decides to go next. Might not be a bad idea to check out that mire area, see what the medallion is.
Yeah, he might go activate that flute. Yeah, he's gonna go activate that flute, and then he'd have to save and quit again to get back to Light World or Dark World. But yeah, you can check the mire area. At this point, he can. I'm surprised he actually hasn't gone to Eastern yet, because he has the ability to full clear Eastern. He did just finish up on Death Mountain though, so he hasn't had that chance yet to go back there.
Yeah, and of course, this being inverted, the whole idea of trying to do Turtle Rock at the end, and of course, it being fast Ganon as well, There's no advantage to when you do Turtle Rock. You do it when you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he's got the flute out. He'll activate this flute, and then just a matter of where he wants to go next. Well, Asher making his way back to this Freezor room. And there's a save and quit, so Willard can go back to Darkworld to use the flute. Or not right away. He's got his hook shot out. I'm not sure what else. Unless Turtle Rock can be opened with Ether? Oh, he's doing Spike Cave.
Yeah, Spike Cave makes sense. Okay, we got plenty of magic. Let's see what's in this Freezor room.
Oh, Willard picked up half magic at some point.
Oh, he got a bow.
There was a bow in
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
Wow. Well, if that doesn't shout go to pot, I don't know what does. Oh, that's so bad. Yeah, that'll be silvers for Willard, because he'll get that later. I mean, I guess maybe he won't, because if he ends up go mode Ice Palace, then he might skip that chest. I mean, there's chests you check in Ice Palace when you're in go mode, and that's one that, it's a few seconds to kill those Freezors. I guess it depends. You won't be looking for swords, so he may miss those, but silver's not going to be the difference here.
Yeah. I don't think Willard... I think Willard... Oh, that's Quake for Meyer, so there's our second item Willard needs for go mode.
Definitely need that.
But I don't think Willard will miss those because... Oh, there's Ice Rod.
No worries about that anymore.
But yeah, I don't think Willard's going to miss that because I doubt he comes in here before he goes to Ice Palace before he finds
Yeah, that's a good
Mayor.
point. So you're absolutely right. Yeah. I mean, we could be wrong. He could surprise us, but no, I agree with you.
In fact, he might be doing Ice Palace now.
Yeah, this will be you'll be able to full clear it, and you'll be able to do Icebreaker, and this will be much more normal. Azur's not going to be happy when he finds this glove, although I think at this point he knows it has to be here.
Yeah, Chad was asking about if Pod was technically bow locked. It was not. The layout was set up in such a way that you did not need bow to get that glove.
Yeah, the only bow locked items in Pod are the big key, the extra small key to get to the back, and the big chest because of where the big key was. But everything else was accessible.
Yeah. Ooh, another death for Ashter.
Wow. Yep. Okay, Willard now going to go through this nasty room, but he's got a cane, and he's got a glove, and he's got a hammer, so he can actually do this the way... not the way it was intended, but the way we all do it now.
Yeah, exactly.
Icebreaker just makes Ice Palace such a better dungeon.
So we'll pick up silvers in here, but
Yeah,
I think that's about all he's going to find.
Yeah, we saw bombs at some place. We didn't see this chest, but I don't know if Azure got 2 items. I know he got bombs. I know he got the silvers.
Okay, he died before he got to this chest, so this is just a small key. And the glove is in the room just down those stairs in the previous room.
Yep, and he's got to not get hit by this anti-fire. Well, I mean, I guess he can still do it in the dark. It's not the worst room ever, but these enemies are kind of nasty.
Well, he got Fire Rod to at least light it up.
Yeah, well, I was talking about is the anti-fire. He really didn't want to get hit by that, so he could light it up.
And
there's that
his
glove. And the other small key.
Meanwhile, Willard in Ice Palace having a much, much, much easier time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just being able to use the cape and have a hookshot for iframes and
Mhm.
all that.
There's those bombs and iced tea. So I think there might be an item on the boss here. No matter what the boss is, Willard will be able to defeat him. Whether it'll be easy or not, is a whole nother story.
Yeah, a Trinex right now would not be very
No,
friendly.
not at all.
But he would have more than enough
Yeah,
to
he can do the
it.
Trinex here. He's got a decent amount of magic, and he's got the hammers. Not the worst thing ever to do a hammer Trinex. And he can do plenty. He can do some of the damage with the rods.
You have to be careful in this room. Wall masters like to show up in this room.
Wall masters always like to show up in bad places. It's kind of annoying that the way that the Randomizer works the way it does, in that anywhere that there already is a wall master, they're still there, but they can certainly show up anywhere. The worst is, oh hell yeah, this is easy. This will not be a problem. The worst place I've seen wall masters is the top of GT. Nothing worse than being in that second to last room and just getting grabbed.
Chat lamenting no helicopter. It's still possible, but Skullwoods is a pendant, so we probably weren't going to drop down in that room.
Okay, Azure finally gets into the light world.
Oh, it was just a key, so he did get all 3 items out of ice.
Oh right, the very first chest was a 20 rupees. So yeah, it was 20 rupees bombs and then the bow.
Asher's gonna pick up silvers in here.
Yeah, and that's going to be unfortunate for him. He's not going to be happy to see those, because that was the one thing. If that bow had been the only one that was available, because the second one could be in GT, and like we said earlier, these guys not going into GT, then he could think, well, maybe Willard did end up doing this, but not so lucky. He does get his boots pretty early though.
But so Willard is going into Eastern now. We haven't seen anything in Eastern yet. He's going to start running out of checks here, because he can't get into Mire, Turtle Rock, or Swamp right now.
Right. And that mirror is what's gating him, and yeah, he's going to have to, at some point, he'll have to go back into Thieves Town and get that mirror.
Which, it's, as I mentioned earlier, screen pendant, so he's somewhat incentivized to do that, because it is essentially 2 checks. But he could also find a medallion in here to open Mire, Mire was Quake. I don't think we've seen Turtle Rock, though.
We have not seen Turtle Rock. Okay, and we're heading over to the second chest and just the compass.
Yeah, so we haven't seen any items in Eastern yet.
And it not that these are easy enemies, but what we're seeing now, it just feels like it just stacked the really bad rooms in the early places, in some of the pod rooms, a lot of the ice rooms, and even some of the Thieves Town rooms.
Yeah, I don't even know if it was truly that was bad. It was just how early they showed up. It's
Well, some of them were like the rollers in Skullwoods were really bad. And so yeah, but you're right. But chain chomps are bad no matter what. So.
Oh yeah, the chain chomps are bad no matter what. I agree with that. But yeah, I think it was partially just like how early they showed up. Because if let's even say just Asher had a bottle early, he would have had at least a way to get some extra magic, and that would have made his. It wouldn't still have played off for him, but he might have had a little bit of an easier time in there.
Mm-hmm. If you could have managed to do the whole thing faster, then I mean, he gets back to pod and wouldn't be that far behind and still have that mirror advantage. But he just didn't get it done fast enough to get the advantage that he needed.
Asher could go pick up a sword right now. With the mirror, he can get the smith. I think he just remembered that.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
So he can get his mastery sword pretty quickly.
Yep.
And if he really wants to, he does have the ability to get tempered fast as well.
Yeah, he still needs to find that hook shot, that Willard's had for a while. But
Oh yeah.
Once he gets it, he can finish up. He'll be able to finish up Swamp Palace. Needs to find that book for Desert, but if he follows all these light world checks, the only problem here is that he might be feeling like he needs to. Well, in fact, I know he's going to be feeling like he needs to cut corners. But what corners do you cut at this point? There's so much you need.
Yeah, he really can't cut corners right now. At minimum, he needs the hook shot, the Quake medallion.
Yep.
And yeah, he hasn't got the book yet, so he needs that as well.
And it would really be nice if he found that lamp.
And unfortunately, he doesn't even have a crystal dungeon done yet. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if he could do some dungeons, that would probably be his best bets. But I think the only dungeon... Oh, there's our second moth. But yeah, I think Desert's the only dungeon he can do Eastern too. Desert and Eastern is all he can do right now.
He can't do Desert until he finds the book.
Yep, never mind, you're right. Well, book's on the way to Desert. It was in the day.
Okay. So he'll get the book. You're right. I spent so much time watching him try and do the Ice Palace thing. I'm sorry, Willard, but I miss what you did.
Yeah, that was a pretty quick Eastern. There wasn't really much to talk about there.
No. Well, Moth, Camera Moth is not the worst thing ever.
I do feel a little bad for Willard in this one. We haven't been talking about him as much, but it's just kind of like he's been just playing well and doing everything right, and it's just not everything right, but he's just been playing so routinely and well, and it's just like we've been focused on Asher's attempts.
It's the traffic disaster you can't turn away from.
I guess that's a good way to put it. Yeah. There was Bombos.
There's a Bombos. Not the medallion we need for Misery Mire.
It could be for Turtle Rock, and I think
could be for Turtle Rock.
I think Willard's thinking that he might have access to Turtle Rock right now.
I think it's reasonable to go check this right now. Okay, hey, Master Sword. Hey, Azder got a Master Sword before Willard did. What's one of the NMG categories where it's you get to the Master Sword pedestal? So if that was the category,
yeah. All right, so let's see what medallion we need for Turtle Rock, and it is also Quake.
Of course, it's also Quake. Why would the game make it easy on them? I mean, if Azder could find a way to score a Quake with in a really bad spot.
Oh, Willard's going back into
he's gonna get that
Town.
mirror.
And this is potentially go mode for Willard.
Yeah, depending on the Turtle Rock layout, yeah. Depends on where that big key is, and actually, I think you could get all the way back to the top. Almost, it'd have to be a. Wow, I'm trying to think if there's a key layout that doesn't.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Sorry about interrupting you there. He still needs Quake.
Right.
This is not go
Good
mode
point.
for him.
Yeah, because you need Quake for Mire. I'm sitting here concentrating on Turtle Rock and how you can get around the Quake in Turtle Rock, which potentially you can, but you can't get around it for Mire.
I think part of the reason Willard's back here is he's almost out of checks. I don't know how much else he really has right now.
And the one shame of this is, on Azder's side, is if this weren't Vanilla Swords, I could see just flat out just making the pet play.
Yeah.
And just hoping that that's the answer. Because if that were the answer, your opponent might be a long time to get into that. But that Hail Mary just not available in Vanilla Swords because it's just going to be a sword. But yeah, now we're doing the old, they're tracing over each other's footsteps.
Yeah, they're retracing each other's footsteps. Willard's about to find the mirror. Azder's just going to finish up Eastern.
Yeah, nothing of note in Eastern.
Easy moth fight. So Willard might feel a little bad about finding this. That's the other thing to remember. Willard doesn't know what Asher's doing.
No. Not at all.
For all Willard's assuming, he's assuming, oh great, Asher grabbed that mirror really early, and he is now way ahead of me.
Which
and he'd be
is not
halfway.
unreasonable. Yeah, he'd be yeah, and it wouldn't be unreasonable to think that at all.
With that mirror, he can grab his second sword, which I think he might not be thinking about right now. He's going to swamp.
Yeah, I mean, the difference between Master Sword and Fighter Sword really isn't that much. Typically, you're either going to do the hammer strats on Argus, or more likely, oh, well, shoot, we're not even going to have an Argus. I mean, we might. But yeah, if you were an Argus, it wouldn't be that big a difference. Now, depending on, it might be a boss that might make a bigger difference.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, the way the sword spin strat doesn't really change with or without the fighter sword versus the master sword. And of course, Azder, having not gone over to Zora yet, is going to have to do this in the dark. Does have the bombos and just needs to find the key. Looks like there's a Lionel in there that may. Okay, he did get the key. Okay, we'll get some new checks over on Willard's side.
Yeah, first time in the swamp at 75 minutes. That's another thing I'm a little surprised Asher hasn't... Oh, no, he doesn't have hookshot. Never mind. I was about to say he hasn't pushed swamp yet, but no hookshot. Not really his incentive.
Nah, I think that's... Yet. In his situation, you do not want to be gambling hookshot-less swamp, I don't think.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Willard is in swamp. All he needs at this point is that Quake Medallion. The only other thing of importance he might find here is mitts, but they only open one spot.
Yep. They open up King's Tomb.
Yep. That's the only thing mitts are required for an inverted. Now they could, in some seeds, they could be logically needed for other stuff. Yep. They could, mitts could lock some other stuff, but that's the only place they're 100% required for.
Okay, Azure gets his first crystal at 116. Ouch. Yeah, not exactly how you draw it up.
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay, let's see. Get some more checks over here in Swamp. We'll see if Willard decides to do the left side first. That has become the meta ever since Diver Down. I'm not sold on it, just because I don't think he's got a map or a compass, and I definitely don't like going to the left side without it.
He did get a map.
Okay.
But at the same time, he's one item from go mode. I think he does back.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I personally am not a big fan of the new meta. The idea that yes, it's faster if you do Diver Down. And yes, it's faster if you do Diver Down, but I don't think it's enough faster that unless it's like Key Sandy where you just have a ton of items and guaranteed it's not going to be, like a map compass situation. I still don't like going to the left side first.
Well, we now know there are 2 items on left side swamp as Asher's going for the pod completion.
Yeah, this might be, we talked about the Hail Mary with the ped. But I mean, if there's an items on the boss here and it's Quake, that maybe gets him back into this. I put that with a question mark because, Willard would have to get there eventually as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But I like the decision to try for some of these Hail Marys, because that's basically what he needs at this point. Hello, Trinex.
Okay, so that ice rod was required.
Yeah, not really a surprise, but you never know. Gonna use hammer strats here.
Yeah, you could also do some fighter sword spins if you want, but...
Yeah, I would either... With this much magic, I could definitely see using the rods a little bit more, although I don't think he has... If he has a blue potion especially, you can... I tested this just recently. You could do... And this is unofficial, so I don't know if the count is right, but I counted 14 shots for the for the fire head and 10 shots for the ice head.
Oh, Asher comes across an Argus.
Oh, he doesn't have the hook shot yet. Oh, that's a shame. But anyway, yeah, you can do Trinex with just with the rods, but you need a lot of magic.
Yeah, somebody else did confirm that as well. Oddly enough, it was our. I think he's a commentator here sometimes. Well, at least a racer, but we have a racer named Trinex who confirmed that you can kill Trinex, the firehead, with the ice rod.
Yep. I mean, that's how I used to think you had to do it. So I'm like, when people started talking about not being able to do it with the ice rod, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't know until I started watching speedruns that the way to do it was actually to fire one shot with your rod and then use the sword. And with 2 items in the left side of swamp and Willard running out of places where things can be, it makes a lot of sense for him to go back in here. And it looks like Azder's going to go for the swamp. Well, he hasn't done this check yet. He's got his book. Okay. Hasn't done all this area. I don't know if he's even done Mini Moldorm, so maybe this gets him over to Zor, gets him that lamp. Where was the hook shot again?
It was in the Witch's Hut on the mushroom turn.
Ah.
I don't remember where Will found the mushroom, though. Actually,
yeah.
I haven't found it yet.
According to his tracker, he is not. We'll see if next time he menus, we can double check, but maybe not because he's got powder. But right now, I'm going to check the Bombos tableau, and then probably just going to go ahead and do Desert. I mean, it's a crystal dungeon that he can full clear, so it makes sense to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Willard, unfortunately, since he did not do left side first, we'll make this check a little slower, but it was still the right move. You're 1 item from go mode, you do boss first.
Yeah, I agree. But then again, like I said, I'm one of the few people that doesn't do this first. I don't know if it's worth doing the bomb thing there when you.
If you can get this quick, it's worth it. It's still a time saving, but
okay.
If it takes like longer than 1 attempt, then you start to lose time.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, he must have already grabbed the. Oh, he just did it to do the switch.
Yeah, that's all. That's the only reason we went back, was to just flip the switch.
Right, because of course you need to get the key in order to to get in that room in the first place.
That is not a friendly room. That's a lag.
And the lag. Oh my god, that's another fun feature. And by feature, I mean not a good thing. The lag that Randomizer brings. There are just some rooms that just really are not meant to have the kind of enemies that end up in Randomizer. And we did see a big key on the left side of Swamp, so it means we got to go back to the big chest.
Yep. 1 more item in the big chest. Just kind of as we're sitting here, just kind of an idea, just to recap here, what's on the line here. This is game 3 of the 5-game series. Teams are tied at 1-1. Winner of this goes up 2-1, so this is not the end of the series by any means, as Willard finds a heart container. But whoever wins only needs 1 more win to advance to the conference finals. And that might have been, I would have to ask him afterwards, but that might have been part of why Asher was so willing to make that play he did, knowing that even if he loses this team is still alive.
Yeah, I would have liked that better. It was like a 2-0 lead rather than a 1-1, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not the end of the series. I mean, 2 very good teams, as you know, as being one of the very good players on the WJP DTP team. Very evenly matched.
Yeah.
This series could easily go 5. Like Willard's gonna go grab that. He's gonna grab his tempered sword at the pyramid ferry.
And an interesting little thing that you see that tree that was in the courtyard there. In normal play, like if in a normal seed, that tree's not actually there. That's inserted just for inverted, so you can't just mirror in here.
Also gets container heart. Oh, he's up to, what is that, 16 hearts?
That is 16
a lot of hearts.
And I think this is going to be a Turtle Rock play for Willard. With the mirror, he can do this
Yep.
from the back.
We'll see if the big key is where that big key is and what the key layout is. See if it gets. There is one door that you can't get through without one of the small keys. But the odds of there being no small keys, yeah. I mean, it might logically be such that you're not supposed to be able to do it. And because I don't think the logic takes into account the fact that the small keys don't get used when you go up the stairs. But I think it would require like all the small keys to be up at the top, and I don't think that's possible.
Yeah, if you're going from the back, you definitely don't need all the small keys. You only need like 1 or 2 to full clear.
Yep.
But I don't fully know the logic on that, so I couldn't answer that. But Willard does have the ability now to go through Laser Bridge, as Astor does a really quick pull of Vitreous with those silvers.
that he did gain a little bit of time there. Not enough, but there's definitely a little bit of a time gain there.
Looks like Willard didn't do these the first time up, which he could have, but I don't blame him because the way that Death Mountain is set up and inverted, you have to basically loop around several times to get all these.
Yeah, there's a lot of Death Mountain is just a nightmare to route. And really, honestly, I mean, Death Mountain's not even that easy to route in a normal mode, but when you add Randomizer to it, it just. This
is an interesting way Willard's going in. He's going to start at the big chest.
Yeah, okay, he could go up from here.
We need to find the big key to be able to just go up from there, but not a bad place to start either. But he could also get locked. Actually, no, he's gonna grab a.
I assume he'll just steal the key here. Yeah.
Right away. No, I don't think he would steal the key because you want to check that chest.
But then he can't get past the. Oh, yeah. Okay. Looks like he's gonna check it. Okay.
Yeah, if he doesn't find another small key, he can't get past.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Never mind. There's a small key.
There it is.
One of the other good things about Randomizer, this is no longer Chain Chomp Room.
Yeah, Turtle Rock often has some rooms that are much nicer. Ironically, though, one of the rooms that often has extra rollers is the rail maze.
Oh yeah, that can be very difficult. So he'll use a key there. There's a key in here he can grab. Disaster, he's going to pick up... This is Ice Ride, yep. Oh, yeah, this maze can also be... This isn't really a maze, but this can also be painful if a chain chomp or a roller gets put in here.
Yeah, you do have a few more options on which way to go in this room, though, as opposed to the room at the bottom.
I think Astur is going to make his first climb up Death Mountain, but unfortunately he has not found the mushroom or the hook shot yet.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Nor the lamp, so he's going to be doing this in the dark. If I remember correctly, this wasn't going to be that bad for him. There were a lot of enemies and a lot of nasty enemies. They're all kind of stuck in walls.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about this cave. There's a lot of enemies in here, but they almost always get stuck in the wall. So this cave ends up not being as bad as you would think. No big key for Willard.
So must be on Laser Bridge. I guess it could be in Crystal Roller as well.
Yeah, I saw the Laser Bridge or Crystal Roller room. He's still looking for Quake.
So now he's gonna have to go all the way back up, so he can fall down into the Laser Bridge exit.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, I think he doesn't have much left to check. He's got the last checks in Turtle Rock. There might be something still in Skull Woods, there might be something still in Pod.
Yeah, there might be.
But those are probably his last checks. Lumberjack was checked. It was 10 arrows.
We don't want to see Agate Tower.
Alright, so there's the map. There's Quake, Willard's in go mode.
There you go. He still needs to find the big key, which has got to be either here or Crystal Roller, so we'll see which one it is. He's going to have to go up to Crystal Roller, it looks like.
Yep, he's just gotta go crystal roller, grab that big key, so he can finish off. Whatever boss is here. Then just a go mode Meyer, and then he can face Ganon. The one question for Willard at this point: will he go save the Smith quick to get his tempered sword?
How good is his Master Sword? Master Sword Ganon, I think is harder than when you have to add the silverless part to it.
I think Master Sword Ganon he's fine with. Actually, thinking about it, I know Willard knows some strats that he could be fine on Ganon.
I know it's just a question of how good is it compared to the time it would take to go get that sword, right? If it was the Pyramid Fairy that was left, then you just do it because you're right there. But yeah, I could see skipping it. Me personally, I wouldn't because my Master Sword Ganon is horrendous. But I'm also there's a reason why I'm not playing in the Invitational League, and Willard is.
I have Vanilla Trinix. But Asi makes a good point in chat that if Willard wanted that tempered sword, he should have picked it up a while
that's
ago.
true.
The other possibility, though, is Willard might not even be thinking he can get the tempered sword. He might think he needs Miss for it and forget that he can just mirror to get it.
Azure made one attempt at hovering. Azure, a passable hover, typically will only do it in the rare case of the hook shot. The swamp is a pendant, and you have to get past a Moldorm too. Okay, so now we just need to go do Misery Mire.
Except his 6th crystal, just a Mire clear away.
Now, one other thing, we haven't seen a cold stare, so I almost wonder if you might pick it up just in case that's what you're going to face over in Misery Mire. We'll see. Like, if I'm going to pick up the tempered, I'd do it now, not right before Ganon.
Nah, I don't even think cold stare would be that big of a deal because if worst case scenario, he can bombos the shell and then he has
he's Fire Rod.
Half magic Fire Rod to use.
Yeah. And he might even have a blue potion. I think he bought one at some point.
For the 22nd time, Aster's back in.
Yeah, but this time he's got stuff to actually do it.
That is an unofficial count.
No, I don't want to go back and count.
Mire 2 is one of a very rough room, so a lot of runners are doing what Willard would do here and just medallion your way through it.
It's not that easy room normally, and so it's possible that it actually gets easier, but that one wasn't, so.
So see if we got a God Mire here, and he gets an early big key. There's a small key. Almost always a small key in one of these first 2 chests.
Usually, not always, but yeah, I agree. It feels like there's a small key.
I think logically you have to have one small key here. You could have the big key, but then then the big chest has to have a small key. There's Mitts.
Hi, Mitts. That we don't care about.
Yeah, we do not need those for anything. Well, if he wants to go check King's Tomb really badly, but he doesn't.
Yeah, Hitaka in chat. What is this SMZ3 where you can actually have Mitts in Mire because of the way the portals between games work?
That is true. Actually, yeah. Mitts can be in Mire because in SMZ3 you can be expected to go through Norfair to get to Mire.
Yep.
Also, Flute can be in Mire in that case, too. Actually, even an inverted Flute can be in Mire. That's a very realistic possibility.
Right, because you can mirror there. Okay, Azure on his Helmosaur fight. Always interesting to see how the colors all get changed around in Randomizer.
Yeah,
There's the big key.
Yeah, in Randomizer, the enemies will take on the color, or the bosses at least will take on the color of the enemy that's naturally in that room. And Azder conquers his nightmares of Ice Palace. Willard is on his way to his last boss for his 7th crystal.
Yeah, and go mode in a fast Ganon seed can go very, very quick because you don't have to worry about the 10 minutes give or take of Ganon's tower. No big key guessing game, no big key to find. I mean, it's there somewhere. Y'all can guess where it is, but we're never gonna know.
Yep, there's 22 chests in Ganon's tower, and we're not opening any of them, so we will not find the Ganon's tower.
That is correct.
But yeah, as soon as Willard's done in here, he just flutes to 4 or 5, whichever he feels more comfortable with. Actually, probably 4 in this case. Flute to 4, run into Hyrule Castle, go upstairs, and fall into the hole.
Say that it's quicker in a regular situation to flute to 5, but that's not inverted. So I don't know which is faster in inverted.
I think in inverted it would be faster to go to 4 because you can just run straight north from there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, in normal games, you'd have to run around.
Yeah, you have to go down, get the portal, go up through the pegs. Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's a rude spark.
And we got Armos Knights as our last boss. Silver arrows. No. This is gonna be fast.
Yeah, this will be trivial. I don't care. 5 hearts. I don't care. Just don't step in the muck.
And is this Azder going to make a play on Swamp without hook?
It is. Yeah, it is.
That hurts. I mean, I get it. He's just trying to make plays at this point. He thinks that Willard might not have made and will pay off, but
yeah. It's more of the Hail Marys that I talked about earlier. There was nothing. Once he went down that Ice Palace rabbit hole, there just was no turning back. Willard would have had to. I mean, he even for as long as Azder took doing the Ice Palace play, Willard got to the mirror before that became a relevant thing.
Yeah, it's hard to say how this seed would have gone had Azder just not gone back to Pod earlier. I don't know how it would have ended up.
Yeah, there's no way of knowing. I mean, these two are very evenly matched runners. But rando be rando. You make a choice and you stick with it, and sometimes it's the right play, but unfortunately not this time.
As Willard falls into the Ganon hole for the Ganon fights. Oh, he takes a hit immediately. I don't think that was intentional, but there's 6 hearts gone.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know. I guess I think he's got a blue. He might have something else in those bottles. There might be a fairy in there or something. I want to say that he bought a blue when he did the mushroom.
Yeah, he did buy blues, at least 1 blue at that point. He found a blue as well. So he might have 1 blue left. Well, he's a fairy in a bottle too, as you said. So, and yeah, he's gonna use the cape to get some spins. I gotta believe he's got some magic. If he's doing this.
Because you're gonna use up a lot of magic doing this. But it is a pretty nice way of getting through the Master Sword Ganon fight. Because, like I say, most runners, if you ask them, would you rather do Tempered Sword Silverless or Master Sword with Silvers? And most are gonna say they'd rather do Tempered Silverless.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. Willard's on phase 3. Yeah, looking at how fast Willard did those first phases, yeah, not grabbing Tempered really didn't.
No,
affect him
I
much.
think he would have lost time grabbing Tempered unless he had done it, at a time when he was already in the area, and he just might not have been thinking about it at that point.
Yeah, mirroring to get the Smith is not something you normally would think
exactly.
about. So he. But now it's just 4 silver arrows to finish this fight.
Yeah, and it's a little harder to do this with the Master Sword because when you do those spins, you kind of get sent flying. I think you just got a silverless hit there.
Yeah. I think that's the bigger thing for me in silverless Ganon with Master Sword is I'm so used to silverless. My timing on my spins just is off. And
I've done that too.
Hits.
Yeah, I've totally done that too.
There's
there
4
it is.
arrows. Ganon's down. And as Willard crosses the bridge,
Up.
he finishes in first place with a time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 19 seconds, taking a 2-1 advantage in this series.
Yeah, and no surprise, Azder's not going to finish this one out. At this point, he's just got too far to go. And this was just brutal setup for him. Just banking on the wrong play.
And we have Willard joining us here. How you feeling, Willard?
Well, that was a unsuspecting victory.
Yeah, well, rabbit holes happen.
I felt so bad in the early game when we don't need to talk about it, but
Well, you both had. I mean, Ice Palace was nasty. Pod was nasty. That Skull Woods at the beginning that you guys did.
that was great. I love
that. Yeah.
You couldn't even get the top left pot at all. There was no way. I think the timing was just not going to allow that ever. And I fell down and died immediately. I was like, okay, now what do I do? So, oh gosh, inverted. It is something else. I tell you.
And the Randomizer did not help, and we have Betcher joining us as well. GG for getting through that Ice Palace. That was some persistence.
Yeah, so sorry about my mic. I must have hit the hotkey by accident while I was playing. I had it muted before the race started.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it accidentally unmuted it.
Were you saying swears? Because I don't blame you if you were.
Apparently I was. I don't remember. I was.
I didn't hear any swearing, but I definitely heard your voice a couple of times and some laughter.
I unfortunately did hear a few.
I didn't remember saying anything. I'm normally like really quiet when I'm not on mic.
Yeah,
so I didn't register anything that I would have said.
We didn't even realize it at first too until we started hearing you say little things here and there.
Okay. So I had forgotten that I'd forgotten about Fire Rod torch logic for pod basement.
Oh no!
So when I died there, I was just like, well, this stuff's not in logic. The goal's probably in ice. Flippers, Fire Rod, like I'll point to there. And it's like I was like, oh, I forgot Pyramid Ledge, but there's so many items pointing to ice, and even if it was on Pyramid Ledge, I'm like, well, that's already bad for me because I forgot it. So I might as well just go ice. And I didn't feel too bad about any of the dust because I figured he was doing the same thing. So
yeah.
I mean,
so when I found the boat, I went back to pod, and then I was going to the back for key, and then I remembered the Fire Rod stuff, and I was like, oh, well, that's probably like maybe the boss is still a card, but that's probably the race. If what
time did you get your glove then?
Like 105.
Oh no.
Yeah. It was rough. And Willard, I would apologize to you right now because we kind of had our eyes glued a little bit on Ice Palace and Azder. I compared it to the traffic accident that you can't keep your eyes off of. While you were just going along doing your thing and just clearing everything and
doing inverted stuff as they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, that early game was super rough, and I was feeling so behind when I finally got Light World access at like 25 minutes. Because I dove Thieves Town 3 times, I think. Because I died in the attic, and then I died after getting the item in the maiden chest, and then I never went back for the boss until super late, of course. And that's where the mirror was. I'm like, wow, that would have made things so much easier.
Yep.
Oh.
That was the one thing we were not sure about because Astra did have that early. And so, I
mean, I guess you could have killed it. Well, I had a Fire Rod, didn't I?
Yeah, a Fire Rod. Apparently,
Moth.
Samaria could have also done it.
Yeah,
I
had no magic though.
Yeah, Azder
Oh,
got
okay.
to his hammer in pod before you did, so he had the hammer going to
Yeah.
get thieves down.
Not going back in for Moth for Thieves Boss was kind of a bad play, in my opinion. But if it was me and I like to full clear as I do, I would have been forced to go all the way to the back to the big chest, and I didn't really want to do that for a while because I had all of Light World to do. So that was kind of taking priority. And
Sure.
I made a lot of mistakes in this run. So when the biggest mistake, of course, was having the race channel up the entire time, even during that horrible Ganon fight. I'm like, why do I have this up? This is just making me play worse. That was so bad. But
So take us through. You chose not to get the tempered sword at the Smiths at any point.
I mean, you guys said it right. I was weighing out the time advantage of getting that while I was on my way to the Meyer boss. I was like, I don't think this is faster. And I especially wasn't going to do it without mitts. And then I got mitts and I was like, oh, that's hilarious. I'm still not going to get it because I still don't think it's faster.
You don't need mitts with the mirror.
I know, but
Okay.
having the mitts would make it faster.
Sure.
So,
Okay, fair.
It was
like
fast for me because like I was in the area with Mirror already in the light world.
Yeah,
so.
that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
But
that
if you're
makes
not
all
already
sense.
in the light world there, then yeah, it's slow.
Yeah, I was done like mirror. What did I do? I got mirror, and then I did swamp into. I think I did swamp into Pyramid Fairy, and then right into T Rock for go mode. So
and
I was
that
just never
quake was
back
right
in
there?
that area to get the tempered swords. I was like, I have silver, so I'm fine. This is good.
Yeah, I mean, you
Alright.
had you did a very nice fight.
No, I didn't, but
assume,
thanks.
well, no, it was quick enough. You had a couple of potions, though, didn't you? You had a fairy and
I had a fairy and a blue potions.
Yeah, okay. So yeah. It was
So where did Hookshot and Quake end up being?
Quake was on Laser Bridge. Hookshot was on Mushroom Turn-In.
Yeah, and then the
Hookshot,
the mushroom turn-in was, I believe, in the waterfall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I was pretty close to going there.
I got that pretty early. Because
Yeah, you did
as soon as
that
I got to
stuff.
the Light World, I did Castle for a sword, and then
Yep.
I did South Shore. So,
Yeah.
and then I
Nice.
ended up wrapping that all back around, and I was like, once I got the hook shot off of Mushroom Turn, and I was feeling better because I'm like, this is such an out of the way check and inverted. So this being a progression was really nice, and yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to do like all the free stuff and then all of the worst stuff to try and get some way back in after like being.
Yeah,
halfway
I
behind.
assume that's why you went to try and finish up pod, and then unfortunately without a hook shot you couldn't even do it because there was an Argus sitting there.
Yeah, that was real dumb. But I was really hoping that like at first I was just hoping that bow and ice was hard required, and then Cackwell immediately dashed
Yeah.
that hope.
Yep.
But then I was still like, well, that pod boss is still a really, really bad spot for something to be.
Yeah, I never ended up going back to Pod ever again, or Skullwoods, after I spent way too long in there in the early game. So it came to, I was like, all right, I have like Hobo and Ice Rock Cave, and then the 3 Pena dungeons that I've done a little bit in. And I decided to just be like, you know what, I can flute to Thieves, that's quick. Let's just do that real quick. And of course I did the big chest. Flute was up in Paradox Cave, which you never got to.
I couldn't get there because I didn't have hookshot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you needed the mirror. You need the hookshot to get the flute to get the mirror. Because the only way to get to Meyer is with flute or with the mirror. So.
Well, I had the mirror from Thieves Town. I did.
Right.
It's hookshot or mitts that you need, I think, to get to
Yeah.
EDM.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and then the mitts ended up being hookshot locked.
Yeah, mitts
yeah.
were
Yeah.
in Meyer. So.
Yep.
It was a good time. GG. I'm glad that was over. I hated all of that. So, thanks for watching.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it. You guys tried to have like nice settings, and Saha bot just said no.
I just wanted not all dungeons.
Sure.
That was the one thing that I cared the most about. It was not having that. And it's like, oh, but you wanted inverted, right? And I was like, no, I didn't. Oh, you wanted Randomizer? No, I didn't. Well,
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
so yeah, out of the 3 playoff seeds I've played, 2 have been all dungeons and 2 have been inverted, and I'm just done. I'm mentally done. JP,
Well,
you
you
and
know,
DT
we're
are gonna have to wrap this up for me because I am Gone.
Well, we will have a game 4 to be determined who's playing and what the settings
Mhm.
are. So I know you guys will be huddling together with your teams and trying to figure that out.
Yeah, we have to have a discussion on that in our team chat and figure out what we're gonna do. And I'm sure it's the same on the other side as well.
So I picked vanilla swords because I didn't want to let Willard pick swordless because.
Well, I was not gonna do that.
Okay, well, I had
enough.
a feeling that you might because I think you've done that in other tournaments and you seem to enjoy them a lot more than me.
Yeah, it's one of those. I hate that mode, but my opponent probably hates it more. Kind of thing.
Okay.
I did pick it in the first round against. Was that game? That was game 4 against Revenant, I think.
I don't recall. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those two.
I just got an impression over the years that you will pick it, so I didn't want it on the table.
Mhm.
And then, funnily enough, it ended up with me doing swordless stuff for over an hour.
Well, yeah, that was the funny part because I thought you picked a shard sword for a while. So I didn't practice it all yet until like yesterday, and I went and double checked. Well, I looked at the bot and I was like, "Wait, vanilla? Wait, this is inverted. That changes a lot of things."
Yeah, it really does.
It was like I was before I started practicing. I was laying in bed the night before. I was like, "All right, inverted, assured sword. Okay, we can route in, farming tree poles, blah blah blah." And then I take a look. I'm like, ugh. I mean, it's really interesting because you're only ever going to get 3 swords max. And 2 of them are mirror and mitts locked, or
Yep.
one of them is mirror. Well, no, Pyramid Fairy is mirror locked, so
Mhm.
it's wacky. So
Yeah, I mean the only way you would ever get the ped sword is on the weird seed that has like items on all 3 pendant bosses. I mean, what are the odds? So
Well, it's also like if like you end up not having mirror or mitts, which I think is not possible in inverted, because like your mitts aren't necessarily required.
right. And I guess mirror's not necessarily required either.
Yeah, but
depending on your
dungeon
dungeon layout.
I don't know if those are compatible. Because I can't remember.
I don't know. It's a stupid mode. I don't want to think of. My brain hurts already.
Like if you don't have mitts, then or if you have flute, you can get to Mire that way. So that takes out both of them.
And you might be able to do Turtle Rock with just the medallion.
Yeah, with that doesn't require mitts either. So
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, you could. I'm pretty sure you could have a seed that requires neither. Like maybe has neither available.
Mm-hmm.
But then I guess you might look into.
I think
Well,
even
no,
I
GT
would do Master Sword Ganon in that situation.
Oh
so.
yeah, 100%.
And I'm bad at Master
Well,
Sword
maybe.
Ganon. But...
Well, let's see. I'm trying to think of a situation which, like, if you're missing mirror and mitts, you can't get either of either Smith or Pyramid Fairy.
You just gotta dig out one of those 2 items in GT, right?
Right, but let's say that you already did like most of the pendants, and I don't know.
If the pendant dungeons are quick enough to finish at that point, I could see going and grabbing.
Because like if you're going to
yeah.
GT, you probably don't have a guarantee that mitts or mirror are in there, even if it is likely. So it's like I don't know. It'd be a pretty funny situation where the ped sword is actually faster.
I mean, I feel like this mode would be like if this ended up being an all dungeons inverted, then obviously you just route in that sword with maybe like a Skullwoods finish or something. But
oh wait, no, actually
Okay.
I'm being silly because if your pendant dungeons are the ones that don't need mitts or mirror, so that you can beat the game with only like having access to the one sword, then you're gonna need them to access the pendants anyways. So never mind, that doesn't work.
Okay, well now that we've got that figured out.
I'm writing all this down.
Oh my god.
It's
Okay.
interesting to think about.
It is interesting to think about, absolutely. Anything else you guys want to add moving forward? Got a game 4 coming, maybe a game 5 as well?
Yeah, I don't know. Is there a strategy that works at all? Like, 'cause like
This was
these are
not
supposed to be nice settings, and
this was not a very competitive group of settings. I forgot that I was in the league and not like the mystery tournament or something playing this seed. It felt like it felt like a mystery tourney seed to me. I'm like, what is going on here?
It really did.
Who put these things here?
Actually, like this is a seed that I would have probably had fun playing in week 5, even if I lost. But I got Triforce instead.
Yeah, JP, were you the other person that got? Because like there were like 4 Triforce hunts and like 3 were in your division. Like,
yeah, I got Triforce Hunt as well.
I remember Willard was like, "No, I don't want it." No, we
good.
commentated.
We did commentate a Triforce Hunt.
Yeah, we commentated Azder's, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just got like standard random weapons 7/7 defeat Ganon. That was my mystery week.
Hey, but you didn't want the Triforce Hunt and you didn't get the Triforce Hunt, so.
I know, I can't complain because I got the thing I didn't get the thing I didn't want.
Exactly.
But I got the most boring anyway.
Mystery week will do that to you.
I looking forward to seeing how the rest of this series plays out. GG's to you and we'll be cooking up something spicy for Game 4 for sure.
No, either that or Sahab will be cooking up something spicy.
Yeah. Maybe take him down a peg.
All right. Thanks, guys. And if you're not already following these guys, go ahead and do so. The Twitches are right there in the chat now. There's no more matches tonight, but there are matches tomorrow. I think there's at least 2 going on tomorrow. We have.
Yep.
Oh, and there's 3 tomorrow. We have 11:10 a.m. We have Lin versus Shireen, Last Locationers versus Triple Dino Disaster. At 3:10, we have the 2019 Titan Smiths of 2019 versus Era 216, Sailor Net versus The Lane. At 10:10, we have Fendrana Drifters versus Team Kappa Jet 082 versus Gamachu. And then on Monday at 9:10, we have another Team Kappa versus Fendrana Drifters, 1UP versus Megawatt. They switched the order, so. But it's the same 2 teams. 1UP and Gamachu on Team Kappa Jet and Megawatt on Fendrana Drifters. So just to be absolutely clear.
Just looking at those series to give you an idea where everything is. In that first game, Last Locationers versus Triple Down Disaster. Triple Down Disaster is on the brink of pulling the upset, up 2-0 in that series. Lin needs to win to force the game 3, or Shireen wins to get the sweep. In Titans Mids versus Era 216, Era 216 is up 2-1.
Yep.
So Sailor Net wins to force game 5, or Lane wins to advance. And then the other game between Fendrana Drifters and Team Kappa is just a game 2, so nothing to be decided in that series yet. Fendrana is up 1-0.
Yeah, so nothing to be decided on Sunday. Potentially something on Monday, but we'll have to see what happens on Sunday before that becomes a thing. But yeah, definitely like to thank everybody. JP, thank you for joining me. I think this is the first time we come together. That was really fun and a tough. What was really a tough a race to call, to be honest. And it was good to do it with you.
It was definitely a good time. Yeah, I mean, it was a great race to call. As tough as the race was, to watch on Ashter's side, it was still. They gave us a really good show, so that was a really good one
he absolutely did, and showed us some skill and things that some perseverance and stuff that most of us just wouldn't do. But yeah, and of course, thank you to our runners. Thank you to our tracker. Let's not forget him, because tracking is hard.
Yep, that was Philistine, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, because he's done. He's already gone. But the tracking, doing the hard work behind the scenes, we really, I can't say enough. We couldn't do it without our trackers. And of course, all the people behind the scenes at SpeedGaming and running the league. Thank you to all of them, and of course, all of you in chat. And JP, I'll let you close us out.
I think, actually, I will give you one more thing for the schedule. If you're looking at the Open League, we do have a match just about to start on the ALTTPR League. Scrub Casual versus SEJ. I unfortunately don't have the page. Actually, I'll pull it up quick, sorry. Let's see what that series is. It is a 1-1 tie in that series, so that's game 3.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, if you're looking for more action, go over to the ALTTPR League channel and catch that game that's just about to start. So, but yeah, good, as you said, good commenting with you. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we will see you next time.